Test, 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 1, 2. Hi, this is Nate from DigiFX. And tonight I want to share with you Oasis Live, the latest project we're going to release to the world next month. In front of you here, you see we have the open world. And we start off on a raft. The basis of the game is that you crash in an open world, and all you're left with is a raft to survive, and you're dying of thirst and hunger on the open seas, and you have to collect fruits and reagents to keep yourself alive, all while encountering like sea creatures like this shark you see in front of you, and other fun stuff that we'll announce on a later date. On top of that, there is an inventory system built in to where you can actually craft parts and pieces to upgrade your ship and vessel, and have stronger boats that add add-ons, carry things so you can explore new places, and also add to your inventory. But pretty much it's all about survival, and the more you adventure, the more you collect, the longer you'll be able to last. Another thing I should note is that we have built-in AR kit into this build, so every instance we call the islands instances, and we call that because in an instance you're taken to another place where you can collect and interact with certain things within the scene. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and play the game, and I hope you guys enjoy. And lastly, if you have any questions or concerns or things you want to include, I'm always up for ears and hearing what people think and helping bring this to the community. So thanks again. This is Nate. Enjoy. When you start the game, you start in what we call the top-down or bird's eye view. This gives you an all-around feel for where you are on the map and where you can navigate to and interact with stuff. As you see, I just clicked on an object. These are mesh sacks that I put here for the demo. So I'll go ahead and just pick these all up. You can either click on them or just move to the position and pick them up, and it works all the same. If I turn to my left right here, notice I had this ship, and this is a vendor. We can buy various items when we add them in there. We have a chest where we can collect some stuff, and I have the reach pretty long on this just for the demo. Probably have people have to be within a few hundred feet for these to interact in the future, but we'll see. We also have what looks to be a relic right here, so I can go ahead and move forward and collect that. We can change into what I call the adventure view mode, and it gives you a really cool feel in terms of adventuring in the world, not knowing where you are with the global fog. And at this point we will use the compass to get around. Now you'll notice that it's pointing due north, and that's because in the emulator it doesn't have the compass sensors from the smartphone, so I can't really see where you are right now. But on the mobile phone, when you're deployed, it will actually work with the compass within the phone. So with that being said, you can click this button, and when there isn't any interference from the computer, it will function. And I'll show you that at a later date. On top of that, you can toggle the dialog box here, this information, and we can open our character board to see things we can add. And you see I already have found a piece of the boat that I just removed, and we'll remove that later in a second. And then we can also open our inventory and pull that over. So in our inventory we have a few different windows. We have our consumables, this is all the items we can consume. And I have here just a few different items: a lemon, passion fruit, some rejuvenation potions that do certain things. And I have a leather bag which I can add on, and it gives me more room right here. Let's go ahead and just open up this mesh, and I can now see I have more items. I have some adventure map stuff. Keep in mind this is just for demo purposes, so a lot of these items won't really be in the final build, but I can add more space, eat this avocado, and then my health goes up, as you see here. Alternatively, we can go back to the map road and click around to things that we approach to see how they will engage with us. In this game, there's multiple creatures that you will encounter. Let's just go ahead and approach some of these sharks and see what happens. I'll get close, and I'll move forward. Oh, and he's detected me. And now that I'm detected, he's trying to approach me. And so I have a couple of sharks on me right now that want to engage. So if a shark does end up getting towards your boat in the real world, you will be forced to interact with it in an interactive scene, an AR scene on your phone. So let's go ahead and let him go ahead and attack us. So we've prompted the shark encounter, so I'm going to do it. Alright, so we went ahead and opened up the AR scene, and right now I'm actually covering the camera so you can see the actual objects swimming around. This is our culprit. This is the guy that attacked us, and now he's stalking us in the water. I have some other things in this scene that kind of make it put things in perspective. The biggest challenge of the AR are making it fit into the real world. So with the great reveal, you can see he's swimming around in a park here in Fort Point, and as he makes his way around the park, here's another scene where you have the same kind of interactive experience. The anchor points are working really well. We have the rocks built in, really stationed in the street, and so now we can put a lot of sharks in the distance that interact. And again, this is the same guy. You can see point cloud bouncing off the wall there. So I kept this pretty minimal, took a lot of the buttons away, but the one feature we do have built in right now is when you click, you shoot spears, and it'll be required to acquire spearheads. But when you hit the shark, the health will go down, and in return you will receive collectibles for your reward based off the timing and the accuracy. So we'll kill him real quick and gain our prize. So after you complete an activity, you will be rewarded for your job, and you will come back into the main map view. You can see the weather here has actually changed since we've come back, and we're coming into some bad weather. The weather affects the visibility in the game, so if you are strict to playing in the adventure view, you can rely on the compass to see where you're going. You'll see here we have another level we can approach. So let's go ahead and just move forward. I'll go ahead and toggle the view so you can see from the map down. There's some rain falling down right now due to the weather storm. So we'll just continue to move towards the island, and when we get close enough, a screen will pop up and we can enter the scene. So now that we're in the AR scene, you'll notice that we begin propagating the floor. The more AR kit scans the ground, the better it will stabilize the 3D. Here you can see AR kit at its finest. The cube represents the anchor point in the scene, and everything else is stationary. So with that, we can now add additional items and interact with the scene itself. Here I'm just showcasing some of the wind on the trees. You can see point cloud generates points in the ground and allows these crabs to walk around. We've also included some items that you can interact with and collect. You'll see here I'm actually collecting these coconuts, and I'm gonna loot the chest and see what they have inside. One of your ultimate goals in Oasis is to collect map clues and other objects in the game that are going to reveal secret places on the map. As we slowly approach this hidden oasis far away, we are careful about where we're going and what it entails. When you approach these instances, you will be confronted by great challenges, but in return you will be rewarded with relics that you can show off and share with friends as the game goes on. So that's pretty much it for the sneak peek demo. I hope you all enjoyed the game so far, and I look forward to giving you updates as we progress and continue to develop stuff in the game. There's much to include, so rolling out the beta is going to be a challenge, but we are committed to the task at hand and making sure that every single person that is interested in Oasis can have it on their mobile phones by the end of this year. If you are interested in getting involved, or you'd like to contribute to our beta program, there are a few links you can follow and pay the $5 entry fee for the early access. We're also looking for contributors to help us build this up and network with the Google Cloud platform, which allows you to scale it up nationwide. With that being said, this is Nate Miller from DigiFX, and I want to thank you all for joining me today. I'll see you on the Oasis.